I really saw a back and forth today with our offense and our defense. From drill to drill. The offense will have the momentum, then the defense will have it, and it went back and forth, and that's really what we want. And I told the players that's a good thing. Because we don't want to have a front-running group of guys where when things are going well, we're making plays, everything's going our way, and then we're happy and we're enthusiastic and excited about that. And then when things start to slide, then no one says anything, and guys are dropping their heads, and we just let the momentum go, and then it just rolls off the table. And so today, like offensively, defense had some really good moments. Offense was kind of slow. Instead of just letting it slide, I heard guys step up. Visca, Steven, guys stepping up. Tim saying, "Hey, come on, guys, let's go. Let's pick it up. We got to tighten up. We got to go. We got to get it going." And then they got the momentum back, and then made some plays. And so. And the same thing happened on defense. I think that's critically important to make sure we don't have a team that's a front-running group and can only operate when things are going well. We have to be able to focus. Leaders have to step up and put the train back on the tracks. And also today, also in the team run period, really for the first time on a consistent basis, I saw our first defensive front really show up in the run game. Stout, we set good edges, built the wall up front against a physical offense line, of physical runners. We're able to stop the run on a consistent basis today with our first group, and that was really good to see, because our foundation, defensively, is the number one thing. We have to be able to stop the run. And so, and Naeem Rodman, the freshman, took some reps with the first group today, and he was stout. And Mustafa, Jalen Sammy, Nate Van Dees, those guys, Carson Wells, the guys that have done a really good job in the front, just setting the edge and building the wall. And so, again, it was another good day's work and good back and forth, and looking forward to seeing the film.
You mentioned Jalen. Talked to him the other day, and he mentioned, he likes that role of keeping the guard and center off of his linebackers. How do you feel like he's doing with that?
He's a massive human being, and he's gotten better and better as we've gone. Since the spring, he's in really good shape. He goes hard every play. He's very stout. He's hard to move. He's a heavy-handed guy, and he can bend. So he can play with good pad level, and he can maintain good pad level throughout the down. And so it's very important to have a good, stout physical defense. It starts inside out, and so you have to be really strong up the middle, kind of like baseball with the catcher, the pitcher, shortstop, second base, center field. Same thing on defense. You got to be strong down the middle, and so it starts with him.
Over the summer, Drew Wilson mentioned that Mark Perry showed up a little bit more mature than your average freshman. What have you seen from him through some practices?
He really wants to be a good player, and he's very coachable. He gets a little bit better every time out, and he's extremely focused in our meetings. So he is mature beyond his years, I believe. And so for him, it's just a matter of continuing to push through and learn the scheme, learn the techniques, understand, why it's important to do things a certain way, and he'll be fine. He's a good player.
You've mentioned the importance of having good pass protection among your running backs. Has anyone in that group started to distinguish themselves in that respect?
I've seen every single one of those guys at some point step up and make the blocks that they need to make. Picking up blitzers, IDing the right guys, stepping up, keeping the pocket clean. Those guys have done a good job. Coach Hayden, is a great leader for that group. He understands what needs to be done and understands how to get the message through to those guys. And so, they all know that that's critically important. That we have to be able to protect the quarterback.
You mentioned that stopping the run was kind of the cornerstone of your defense. Is that something that's always the first thing you think of in your defense, or is that swayed a little bit by the fact you face so many run-first teams early in the season?
No, that's the first thing. 23 years of coaching, everywhere I've been, the first thing you have to do is stop the run. If you can't stop the run and make teams one-dimensional, then you're going to have a hard time holding people to low numbers because they can basically do whatever they want to do. And even though we face a lot of teams that maybe heavy pass, you know, every team that we're going to play is going to have some type of run game that we have to be able to eliminate. And if we can make teams one-dimensional, we'll have a better defense.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach.